Good morning, Floss Tube. It's Julie with Reflections Framing and Stitching, back for my 11th Floss Tube video. Today is Saturday, the 21st of October. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, so I got up early so I could be here and get this done before I open up the store. I want to thank everybody for subscribing and for hanging in there, leaving me comments that I have not responded to. As I said in my quick update, what was that, a month ago? Life has been a little bit busy and messy, so I apologize for not responding to comments. I do read them all. I just, something has to give, and commenting and even much watching of FlossTube has been one of the things that has had to give. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for hanging in there. I wish I could say that things would get better, but until we get through this wedding for Abby, which is December 9th, I don't really see that happening a whole lot. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Today I think I'm going to start with shoutouts, because I always forget to do them, and then I feel bad. So not much FlossTube watching has happened. I've managed to catch a couple of new to me, probably old to you guys now, but new to me, floss tubers, and of course all the others. And I have notes because this summer has done a number on my brain, and if I don't write it down, I don't remember anything anymore. So I'm going to refer to my notes. I have watched Stephanie at the SoCal Stitcher. Don't remember if I commented. I'm sorry if I didn't. Enjoyed the video. You love big projects. So check her out if you haven't already. And then Lynette from Homesteading on the Home Front. She lives in Guam, but she's married to a gentleman from Nebraska, so that's a good thing. Nebraska men are nice. She's hoping to get back to the States here, I think, in a year, maybe, if I'm remembering correctly, which I'm probably not. But check out her videos. I enjoyed watching her. And then, of course, I hit all the big ones. Lori, Mischievous Stitcher, Yvonne, Night Owl Stitcher, Nell, Little House. Caught her live video the other day when I was working. McKenna, congratulations on your state fair wins. I was watching the live feed on her state fair visit and panicking right along with her when she couldn't find the fourth piece she'd entered. I did not like how they set up your state fair. That would have driven me absolutely bonkers. So I would have panicked right there. Yeah. But congratulations on that win for the devil. Didn't write the name down, but congratulations for that win. That's awesome. Participation ribbons. Yeah. I don't know that Nebraska doesn't do participation ribbons. You either get a ribbon or you don't. So I'm not sure that we're adults. We don't really need to be made to feel better by having a participation ribbon. Let's see, who else have I watched? Yeah, if I didn't write it down, I don't remember. So anyway, there's that. And then I've had a couple of visitors from floss tube in the shop this summer, and I have to apologize because I wrote their names down. I've lost the sheet of paper and I don't remember who they were. So if you were in the store and I haven't said, oh hey, hello, it's because I don't remember your name. I'm terrible with names and I can't find my piece of paper. But I have one sweet gal that brought me a candle. It smells good. You should smell it in here because I light it every morning. And I want to thank you for the candle. That was really sweet of you. And thank everyone else that has stopped in. It's nice to meet other floss tubers and just meeting new people, whether you're on floss tube or not, is fun. I like to talk to other people from other parts of the country and see what they're working on if they happen to bring their project in with them. And so that's been nice. I think that's it for thank yous and shout outs. And so I think I will move on to the Nebraska State Fair. We had, I think if I might as well read it. We had 70 entries in the counted cross-stitch division. Of those 70 entries, 49 were picked up by my friend Lori and delivered to Grand Island for the fair. So 49 is pretty good number. If we hadn't entered, it would have been a pretty dismal showing, I think. Those 49 pieces were 11 people were responsible for those 49 pieces. So I failed in my effort to get more people to enter. I think we had 10 last year that entered and only 11 this year. So I consider that a fail for me. Somehow I'm not inspiring my local stitchers to enter the fair, and that makes me sad. If the 11 that entered hadn't put in multiple entries, it would have been a pretty sad showing. So I'm going to keep trying. I don't know if I'm going to be successful or not. Okay, back to the ribbons. 35 of those 49 entries received a ribbon. There were 8 first place, 9 second, 6 third, 7 fourth, and 5 fifth place. Some of them, obviously did not receive anything. And one of those is mine. Dan got, for his Heaven and Nature Sing, which I did pull that chart just in case you're not familiar with it. I didn't pull his piece over. I got stuff everywhere, and so I didn't. You have seen his Heaven and Nature piece before in previous videos, so I didn't. If you've seen it before, then I didn't pull the actual stitched piece. So I just have the chart. Kathy Barrick and Heaven and Nature Sing, and I will never live this down, he got a first place ribbon in the 36 count and up. So he got the first place ribbon in that category. Roxy, which I think I've showed you her Selhurst from Long Dog. She got second place in that category. And my The Love of Two Hearts came in third. Now, some of you have watched the video with Dan in it. I'm never going to hear the end of him getting that first place ribbon and I got a third place. I'm hearing things like, well, since I'm the better stitcher in the family, maybe I should take care of that. Or since I stitch better than you do, maybe I should stitch that piece. Or, yeah, it drops into conversation all the time. Big head. Never going to hear the end of it. But it's a beautiful piece. He deserved the ribbon. The judge said that the top winners, it was very, very difficult to figure out who should get the first place ribbon. I'm glad she let him have it. Because it was his first time on 40 count, and he did a beautiful job, so he deserved the ribbon, but he doesn't need to rub it in quite so much. Let's see. His Cross Stitch Nation, you can see behind me, got a third place ribbon. And his Milord's Necessities box, which I showed, I think it was in the video with Dan, he showed that. He got a third place ribbon on that one. Let's see, my hat's off to Uncle Sam, in case nobody knows what that looks like. I got a first place ribbon on that one. Pin feathers, and I didn't grab that chart. It was the little one on the pedestal with the button fringe around it that I showed a few videos back. Got a second place on that one. Stoneware pin pillows. I have not shown you these, but it's Priscilla's Pocket. She's got 3 different charts out now with the pillows. I've only stitched 5 of them so far. That's what they look like. Oops. These got a second place ribbon. Turkey sausage from Paulette at Plum Street. This way. There we go. I have that displayed in that little suitcase that I showed you. That got a second place. Let's see. Oh, my sampler ornaments from Little House Needleworks. It's a collection of 12. I've only stitched 6. I got 4th place on those. I'm gonna guess the comment that they left. I'm gonna show you these. The comment that the judges left was that they weren't stuffed enough. I'm having a hard time getting a decent there. And they're not stuffed enough, but I didn't want them overly stuffed because I wanted them to look kind of old and been around the block for more than once. So I deliberately did not stuff them as much as they probably expect the pillows to be stuffed. And that's my choice. That's how I wanted them. And I don't care what they think, because they're mine. So anyway, those got a 4th. What else? Oh, my retreat piece, I did pull that because I don't have a chart of it because it's not been released for the general public yet. So my retreat piece got a blue ribbon. And this piece, which is a with the needle and thread. Got nothing. So no comments saying, you know, the stitching sucked or anything. I just think the competition was pretty stiff and didn't get anything, which is fine. Just fine. So that's the state fair. Like I said, I'm gonna try and encourage more people. I think more of you entered than my local stitchers, and I want to thank you for that. It's very important for our industry, our hobby, to keep it in the public eye. So anything we can do to do that, I feel is very important. What shall I talk? Oh, I should have probably, instead of going right into the state fair, maybe explain just a little bit about why this summer has been so busy. And I don't want to bore you with a lot of details, but I've mentioned before that my mom has been ill. And we thought last April that she was starting to get better, and then May came around and she started to go downhill. Nobody could figure out why. It got to the point where she and my dad were not safe in their own home anymore, and we had to forcibly move them out of their home of 50 years, which has been pretty hard on them. And we moved them into my sister's house, which is small. It's not really meant for that many people. But we didn't want to put them in a nursing home. And Melanie's home during the day. She has 2 kids, Ben and Kate, who are 10 and Kate just turned 9. And they have compromised immune systems. So Melanie is home with them all day because she homeschools them, and they can't go to school because their immune systems won't fight things off. So we moved them in there, and so every free moment we've had, we've been working on cleaning out their house and getting it ready for sale. And when we weren't doing that, Melanie and I, well, mostly Melanie, I just provided the place. We had a wedding shower for Abby here at the shop, so I helped her do things, but it was mostly on Melanie, and so we did that. And luckily, we've kind of figured out on our own now that a lot of the problem with Mom was the medicines she was on. Don't rely on your doctors, people, because they're kind of stupid. Sorry if you're a doctor, sorry if you like your doctor, but we've been kind of playing tennis with the doctors. The internal medicine doctor says, ooh, that's not really in my scope, so she sends you to the neurologist, and the neurologist says, ooh, that's something your GP should take care of, and the GP says, ooh, we can't do that, you need to go see a heart doctor, and the heart doctor says, well, that's not me, she's got cancer, so you need to go see an oncologist, and the oncologist says, she doesn't have cancer, this is all this, and then that, and anyway, we finally figured out that a lot of the problems coming were medicine, and we're getting her off that medicine, and she's starting to improve a little bit, but there for a while it was touch and go. At one point, they sent her home, and they expected her not to be alive by Monday, and she wouldn't have been if we had followed their directions. So all I'm saying is make sure you do your due diligence, listen to your gut. If if you think what they're telling you isn't right, research it. Because Mom would have been dead if it weren't for my sister. Enough said. So that's kind of what's taking up a lot of time. It's hard to move your parents out of their home when they're not wanting to go. So you have to kind of find the humor where you can. And the day we moved them out and into Melanie's, we were sitting over in the living room at Melanie's house after having moved things, and Mom looks at us, and Melanie was sitting in the one chair and I was in the other, and Mom says, "So, tell me, what did you guys do with the 2 chairs that Jeff gave us?" Jeff's our older brother. And Melanie starts laughing. And I just kind of looked at her and I'm like, "You mean the ones you're sitting in, Mom?" And she looks down and she kind of looks at me and she's like, "Oh, okay." And just, it was amusing. Another day she called and she says, "Julie, why won't you let me go home?" And I said, "Mom, you're not safe at home." "Well, at home I could go outside." And I said, "Well, you can go outside at Melanie's. There's not a handrail. I can't get out down the stairs." And I said, "Well, I'm sure Melanie would help you down the stairs." "I don't want her help," she said. "I just want to be able to go outside." "Well, okay. What are you going to do when you go outside?" I would talk to my squirrels." And I said, "Okay, well, if you let Melanie help you down the stairs, you can talk to Melanie's squirrels." And she said, "No, I can't. They're not nice." Okay. Well, I'm sure maybe they're not as nice as your squirrels because you haven't been talking to them. So, if you let Melanie take you outside, you can make friends with the squirrels there. "No, they're not nice. I can tell by looking at them." So she's got an answer for everything. It doesn't always make sense, and you just got to kind of find the humor in some of it, or you end up crying about it. So that's really been the biggest time sucker. I had a stomach flu that lasted for a week that was not fun. We had retreat, which I'll talk about later. So that kept me kind of busy, and now the wedding is looming large. I'm excited for Abby, but I can't say that I'm excited for the actual wedding itself. 680 people, most of whom I will not know. Not my idea of a good time, but that's his side. He's a farmer, and apparently you invite everybody. So, yeah, it's good. I have my outfit for the wedding. I still need to find something to wear to the rehearsal dinner, and shoes. I need to find some shoes that are not going to kill my knee or I had Achilles tendon surgery 4 or 5 years ago, and I still don't, my tendon still doesn't like to have a lot of pressure on the back of it for long periods of time. So I have to find a shoe that I can wear all day long, and I don't somehow think Abby's going to like my gray tennis shoes. So I've got to find time for shoes, and gonna close the shop for several days because she's getting married. It's about 2 hours away from our house, and we'll be out there on Thursday. She's setting up a bunch of Christmas trees in the reception hall So Thursday we've got to go out and help her set up Christmas trees, and Friday we've got to go out and finish up the decorating and then do the rehearsal dinner, and Saturday's the wedding, Sunday is a brunch and opening gifts, and I figured on Monday I was going to need a little rest, so I'll be closed from that that Thursday till Monday. So if you're coming through town December, what is that, the 7th through 11th, I'm not going to be here. Don't come knocking on the door, because we're just going to be closed. And let's see. I've probably bored you enough with that. I did forget to show you one other retreat piece. I don't know why I forgot this one. It's on my list. But anyway, this is Barbara Anna, Something Wicked. And Dan made me the horn book frame for it, which I think turned out really nice. And it got 4th place. So this one was stitched on, I don't know if you all have ever tried this technique, but it was stitched on natural, 40 count natural. And I wanted to make it kind of dirty and grungy. So and it's all done in DMC. So after I finished stitching it, I took a paintbrush and some crushed, walnut crystals solution and just painted it over the top a couple of different times and let it dry. So it kind of gives this halo effect around the stitching, which is what I wanted it to look like. So it's very easy to do. Don't be afraid. Just make sure that your thread is all color fast before you do it, because you do pretty much saturate the fabric. But it's one of my favorite pieces. So anyway, that one got a 4th place, and I'm done with the fair. And I'm sorry for bouncing around from subject to subject. I really should be more organized than what I am. That's kind of how my brain is working right now. It kind of bounces from subject to subject. Let me refer back to my notes and see what else I might have forgotten to mention. Nope, talked about that. I have no real framing to show you, because what I've gotten done I've sent off with the owners, because they would have been waiting forever for me to get a video done, except for Rodney. Rodney is so patient about me getting his items back to him. And I did not frame this. This is purely a Rodney project. He did the finishing himself. These are little designs from Jeanette Douglas. I don't know the names of them. I should have looked it up. I didn't. But anyway, he found this photo box at Hobby Lobby, 40% off. So I think he said it cost maybe $16 or something. And I'm going to move this way just a little bit. Maybe, no, that didn't help. Shut that off. Maybe that'll help. Excuse my arm. Okay. There. We'll get that. That's better. Much better. Anyway, there's 6 little designs from Jeanette Douglas, and this spins. And it's supposed to be for photos, like I said. And then there's storage inside. He has another design still in here. But there's storage inside. There's his other little design. Cute as can be, I think. To get the lid on there right. Very clever idea for for finishing little things if you don't want to frame them, don't want to put them in pillows. You could always paint the box if you didn't like the color of it. Excellent idea. So thank you, Rodney, for letting me keep that until I got a video made. New in the shop. There's a lot new in the shop. I'm just going to show you some of my favorites because there's way too many otherwise, and I still have to talk about retreat. So, going to start with Silver Creek Samplers. It's Olivia Okerleaf. And that's saying, because I don't think you're going to be able to read it, she wears a dress of scarlet red and orange leaves from overhead that sparkle with a frosty glow, soon buried in a winter snow. Love the verse. Very cute design. It calls for a silk weaver fabric, which I do not have because I find it impossible to get silk weaver fabric. So I thought Picture This Plus Oaken would be a good choice for this piece. I'm going to try and hold it up. It's got more of a green tint than what you're seeing because I shut that light off. But the colors are yummy. And I think it'd be really pretty done on the Oaken. So that's one new thing that I really like. And I'm sure you've seen on Priscilla and Chelsea's. Priscilla does the chalk design for Hands-On Designs, chalk for the home series. This is Autumn, the Sunflower Manor. And while I have thought the other designs in this series were cute, they didn't really talk to me until this one, and I don't know. I think maybe it's the colors for this one that are really getting my attention. It calls for hand-dyed by Stephanie's slate fabric, which I happen to have. I just love those colors, and they're a little more vibrant than they're showing on the screen. I really like the colors and the design. Let's see. This next one is Paulette Stewart, Hello Fall. And you know, I started Hello Summer. And I told you I had changed the colors a little bit, and I still wasn't happy with it. And I ran across that piece when I was getting ready for retreat. And I looked at the colors again, and I'm like, oh, well, I kind of like that. So I guess I'll go back and finish it now. But these are beautiful fall colors. It's called for fabric is 36 count Stars Hollow Blend. I wanted to do something a little bit different. So this is 40 count Velt from Picture This Plus. I'm going to remove the floss so maybe you can get a better idea. It's greens and browns and yellows. It's a beautiful fall looking fabric, and I think that would be a gorgeous fabric for that piece. And then we have another Paulette. This one is the Blackbird Fractor. You might want to see it that way, huh? Love it, love it, love it. Apparently, she had designed it and it was a little more, originally a little more gothic. And she didn't think people would like that, so she, I guess, prettied it up a little bit. And I've been giving her a hard time about it because I think people would have liked it if it had been a little more gothic. They'll like this. I love this. But I think if she had left it a little more gothic, it would have been fine too. So I've been giving her a hard time about that one. And it calls for 36 count Patriots Brew. But I decided to kit mine up with 40 count vintage navy bean. And that's a Lakeside Linens fabric, and I just kind of liked how it looked with the, it's a grayish greenish color, subtle modeling. So I think that's what I'll use for mine, if I ever get to it. Friends of the Heart. Love this design. Love it. Calls for 36 count Ren, which of course you know I did not choose Ren to stitch it on. This is a hand-dyed by Stephanie fabric called Chocolate Milk, and it's more golden brown than what, it looks a little green on my screen, but it's a more golden kind of, has a green tint to it, but it's more golden, rich. It's a very rich, yeah, it's coming across as really green, but it's not as green as what it's coming across as. It's a beautiful fabric. I love it. But that's what I chose for mine. Let's see, what else? Those are the ones that I pulled Floss and fabric for, because I kitted those up to go to retreat. You can see I didn't stitch on them. Another new chart in the shop, Salem Hill Sampler from the Scarlet House. Calls for black linen. I probably won't do it on black. I'll probably do it on a chalkboard black or something like that, but I think it's really cute. It's got a red house. I love red house. Madame Chantilly has some cute ones. This is the bear in the tree. Very simple design, but so cute. So cute. Also has Halloween mouses, all dressed up for Halloween. And Autumn is Coming, which is part of a series. She has, I think, Winter is Coming. Can't remember if she has Spring and Summer yet or not. I think so. One, maybe not the other. But that's cute too. I like the little bear and the penguin. It's cute. Last one of Paulette's Heritage Sampler, which if you watched her last video, she kind of explained all about this sampler. Very cute. Love the pilgrims. Looks like Abe Lincoln and the White House. So I love that one. And last but certainly not least, this one has been blowing out of here. I've reordered it 3 times now. Is Silver Creek's My Christmas List. And it says, family visits, turkey dressing, woolen sweaters, Christmas blessing, flying reindeer, mistletoe, candles glowing, hot cocoa, pies and cookies, old Saint Nick, peace and goodwill, peppermint stick, wrapping presents, gingerbread, hang your stocking, time for bed, angels singing, Christ is born, a gift for all on Christmas morn. Lots of words. Some people like words, some people don't. I think it's really, really, really cute. That is all I pulled for what's new in the shop. I will talk a little bit about our fall retreat, which was last weekend. We had a great time. No drama, and that's saying something, because pretty much anytime you get 40 women and in a space for 4 days, someone's going to get their feelings hurt or something's going to happen, and we had none of that. It was really fun. It was nice to have a break. I took 19 do not laugh at me. I took 19 projects, some new, some old, with me. And for the first time ever, I only worked on one. Just one. It was a new start, and I was enjoying it so much that I didn't want to put it down. So that's all I worked on, and you may thank Lori of Mischievous Stitches. The Mischievous Stitcher, it's all her fault. She's been talking about her year of samplers for next year and showing all these cool samplers, and when I was going through my stash and looking at things to take to retreat, I ran across a sampler that I had kitted up long time ago. From Maura Blackburn, called Three Things Sampler. Not a small piece by any means. Think I'm kind of insane for starting it, but the saying is one that I've always liked. 3 things there are that will never come back: the arrow shot forth on its destined track, the appointed hour that could not wait, and the helpful word that was spoken too late. This picture does not do the colors justice. They're gorgeous. It's DMC. The stitch count on this thing is 263 by 359. I'm doing it on 40 count. And it's still huge. Look, that's how big the piece of fabric is. And that's what I got done. And again, my colors are not showing true to form because of the light, but it's a very dark and gloomy day today, and so there's not much natural light coming in. We've got a front coming through that's going to lower the temperatures, and my knee is telling me that. So anyway, I enjoyed stitching this one so much I couldn't put it down. So I only worked on this. This little section here, I don't know, maybe I was tired. I don't know what it was, but I ripped that out 4 times. 4 times. Different mistakes each time, but 4 times. And I still love it. And it's Hawk Run month. And I really don't want to stitch on Hawk Run. I want to stitch on this. So anyway, that's what I stitched on. Our fall retreat, we don't really have a theme. We had an exchange that had a theme of spring, and what did I do with that? I was going to show you the piece that I got, but I don't think I brought it over. I think it's still over there. Anyway, we had an exchange, pin pillow ornament with a spring theme, and that went well. And so, since the exchange was a spring theme, I always make an Ort container, and so this was their Ort container for this year. Little ladybug, and his back comes off, so you can put your Orts in there. We have one gal who ladybugs are her thing, and she said, "Oh, Julie, this is my favorite one yet." And he did turn out cute. I had a bugger of a time figuring out what I wanted to do for the antenna. I tried pipe cleaners. They looked like fuzzy worms coming out. Different types of pipe cleaners, different types of textures, thicknesses. I tried them all. That didn't work. And then I went looking for stick pins that were black, and they don't, around here anyway. I couldn't find any. So I ended up buying one of those real expensive Copic markers, and I colored white stick pins, colored the silver part with that, because it's supposed to be a permanent thing. It's not necessarily. If you touch it enough, it's going to come off, but so don't be touching your ladybug's antenna. They probably don't like it anyway. So he turned out cute, and then of course, I had to make a scissor fob to go with it. Found these cute little ladybug, let's see, there, you can kind of, cute little ladybug scissors that I found, so I did not give everyone a pair of scissors or a fob. I just made this for myself, and then I made that fob to go with him. And then I made a couple of stick pins to go with it also. So that was my little ladybug collection. We also did with everything that's been going on in the world, the fires, the hurricanes, the shootings, as rough as this summer has been on me, it's nothing compared to what everyone else has been going through. And I wanted to do something to help. So I gathered a bunch of stuff. I had a project bag made with ladybug stuff in it, fabric, and then I donated a set of these scissors. I made a scissor fob. I made the stick pins, some charts. I think that was everything that was in it. And we had a raffle for that. And we raised $327 to go towards disaster relief. So I want to thank all of the ladies that participated in the raffle. I appreciate it greatly, and I'm sure that money will help in some small way to make life easier for those that have been affected by so much this summer. This world it's a scary place out there, and I worry about what's yet to come. But anyway, we don't want to get into that. So that was a retreat. Like I said, it's our fall no frills, so there's not a project, there's not a class. It's just 4 days of stitching on whatever the heck you want to stitch on, and good food, good company. They did, for the first time this year, we did a brunch on Sunday rather than breakfast and lunch, and it was to die for. We had some people that left early, and they shouldn't have, because it was awesome. We had I'm going to go down the line. There was a breakfast casserole. There were biscuits and gravy. There was a blueberry French toast bake. There was ham and egg sliders. I didn't care for those because they had a mustard sauce thing on them, and I don't do mustard or mayonnaise or ketchup or any of that condiment stuff. But everyone else thought they were great. Hash browns, pecan caramel rolls, and then they had like mimosas and little non-alcoholic type breakfast drinks for us. It was awesome. I'm hoping we get to do it again. I don't know if we will be able to always, because if there's another group out there and they don't want to have brunch, then I guess we don't get brunch. But we'd be very sad because it was awesome. And that's pretty much, everyone was out by 2 o'clock Sunday. I came home. Dan was off somewhere, so I sat down and cuddled with the puppies because they missed me while I was gone. And I should have probably cleaned a little bit, but I didn't do that. My house, I tell you, because I only have Sundays off, and every Sunday this summer I have been either cleaning out a house or, one weekend I wasn't cleaning out the house was the stomach flu, and another weekend I wasn't cleaning out the house was the wedding shower, and then last weekend was the retreat. So otherwise, pretty much every Sunday has been cleaning out Mom's house, and of course, when you clean out your parents' house, you bring stuff home with you. It's funny what you choose to bring home too. It's not anything that's worth anything. It's more things that have a lot of sentimental value for you. But anyway, I've brought stuff home, and it's just been plopped into the library, and so my house right now is pretty trashed. And as I've mentioned, Abby's getting married, which means that Amy, our youngest daughter, will be coming home for the wedding, and we got a lot of work to do before Amy gets there. So we've got to get Mom and Dad's house done so we can work on our own. We're pretty close though at this point. There's a couple things yet that need to be done, and that'll be done. It's kind of sad because, like I said, they've been there for 50 years. So basically, I was 7 when we moved into that house. And while I remember the house prior to that, this one has been home. So it's going to be difficult having Christmas not at Mom's this year. But we'll just have to make it work. And let's see, moving on, as I'm digressing and probably bored. It's 54 minutes into this, and how about I show you some other stuff that I've worked on, not recently, but prior to this month, because this month was hawk run month, except for when I was at retreat. So September, I worked on what little stitching time I had, which was not much. I'm just not gonna lie, it wasn't much. My goal was to finish Fracture Flowers in September. It didn't happen. So there we are. I've got the base of the bowl yet to do, and then there's two little doohickeys with a flower on the end that come out on each side of that bowl, and then this will be done. So as soon as I'm done with Hawk Run for this month, I will be finishing this one. It would be nice to have a finish because they are few and far between right now. I still love that piece. Dan has been, his stitching time has been limited too, but he's been doing a little work on his Hawk Run. But he's behind now. He's a little bit behind. Not terribly, but there's his progress. Pretty much everything down in that corner over here is what he's gotten done since the last time I showed it to you. Oh, it's big. And he's still leaving that bird for the end, and I keep telling him that's a bad mistake, but he's going to stitch it the way he wants to stitch it. So he did that. He also stitched up a couple retreats ago. I designed a little, the theme was Halloween, and so I designed a little pin pillow for the exchange, and of course I gave it away in the exchange, and I wanted to stitch it up again, and I haven't had time, so Dan volunteered to stitch it. It's called Witch's Booty, and it's, like I said, it's one that I designed for the exchange, and I put little spider fabric on the back. So he stitched this up, and I have to tell you, for someone who got a first place ribbon, he did a lousy job. On some of them he went over 3, some of them he went over 2, some of them he went over 1. Some stitches didn't get crossed. I don't know what he was smoking when he was stitching on this, but I had to go back and redo a good portion of it. I was genuinely surprised at how poorly he had done on this, and I don't know. I said, are you having trouble seeing? And he decided that maybe he was using the wrong size needle. And that's important. I don't know if people realize how important it is to use the correct size needle, but if you're using a needle that's too big, it can be hard to get the right hole, get in the right hole. So perhaps that was it, but I was genuinely horrified at the job he did. But in the end it turned out cute. So there's that. The night before, well, I'll talk about that after this. Hawk Run, my Hawk Run. I am just about to finish up block number 5. I just need to finish the border. I tried to get it finished last night, but I just couldn't keep my eyes open, and I knew I was going to need to get up early so I could be here early. So just got to finish the border up, and then I'm done done for this month, and I am still right on target. But this was the first month that I've had trouble with wanting to stitch on this, because that sampler, Lori, thank you very much. Just kidding, I'm not really mad at you. But you did inspire me to dig that out and to start it, and now I'm kind of stuck on it. So anyway, this should be done tonight if I get a chance to stitch tonight. And then I'm going to finish Factor Flowers. Then I'll stitch on that sampler. So that's my plans. And as much as I make plans, which I don't like to make plans because I never stick to them, and then I feel like a failure. The only other thing that I have for something of a finish is it's Stacy Nash Halloween Pin Keep. I stitched this up last year. I finished the stitching right before Halloween. But I never got it finished, and it's still maybe not completely finished because I may add some trim. I may add trim on my Witch's Booty too. The original one that I put in the exchange had a little eyelash trim on it that was really cute, but I haven't found small enough eyelash trim. I'm going to have to go looking at Joann's or something. So this may still need some trim put on it, but at least it is now a pillow. And I'd found this fabric. Where did I find that fabric? Joann's, I think. It wasn't quite the right color, so I did bathe it a little bit in walnut crystals and darkened it up a little. So this was before I finished this up. Retreat was started Thursday. I finished making this into a pillow on Tuesday night. And then I was looking at it and I thought, well, you know, I could just put it on the finishes table just the way it is, but that's kind of boring. So Wednesday morning I went to Hobby Lobby looking for a bowl or a basket or a platter or something to display this in. And it's got glitter on it. It should not have glitter. And I found something. I was 10 minutes late for work that day because I couldn't find something and I couldn't find something, and finally, you know, us short people, way up high, of course, I saw this round looking thing. And I thought, well, I wonder what that is. And of course, I couldn't reach it. So I had to track someone down to, can I see that thing on that top shelf? And so they got it down, and I stood there and stared at it for a while. And I was thinking, well, what could this work? Maybe this could work. I didn't like the color of it, and I needed to find some other things to go with it. But in the end, I bought it. I called Dan and I said, don't make any plans for tonight because I'm going to need you to kind of reimagine this piece that I bought at Hobby Lobby. And of course, he had plans with Emma, the granddaughter. And I said, Dan, it's the night before retreat. Never make plans the night before retreat because you never know what I'm going to need you to do. So he did. He went over, he played with Emma until 8, and then he came home. So this got done between 8 and 11 p.m. Wednesday, the night before retreat. And I think it turned out pretty good for as quickly as we threw it together. It's big, though, so I'm going to have to I'm gonna have to, I don't know, scoot back, I think, so you can see it. And hope that I don't, I'm gonna turn it around. Okay. So this was a kind of a taupey color when I bought it, and which I thought was really ugly. And then Dan, I said, make it orange, Dan. So I'm backing up. So he dry brushed some orange onto it, and then he did, well, first he had to put the back on because the back was falling off. And then he dry brushed the orange on, and then he waxed it for me. And yes, the shelves are crooked. That's the way they came. If we'd had more time, I would have had him completely disassemble and put it back together. But we didn't have time, being as it was the night before retreat. But that is what I took to retreat to display my little pillow on. I think it turned out really cute. They want some horribly expensive amount of money for this thing, so make sure if you decide you want it, you use your coupon, because it's like $80 normally, and even at $40 it's expensive considering that your shelves are crooked. But I didn't really have time. Normally I might have argued a little bit about the price for crooked shelving. But I didn't argue about it. I just bought it, and away we went. So that's how I display it. I've got it hanging on the wall here in the shop now, and it looks kind of cute. So walk around Joann's, walk around Michael's, walk around Hobby Lobby, try and come up with different things to do for display. I could have had a bowl that I could have put it in, but I just wanted to do something a little different. And eventually, this little guy, I showed him to you before. Whoops. It's rolling across the table there. This was one of our Orc containers from retreat some time ago. I'll probably replace him with a stitched piece, because I think I'd like to have 3 stitched pieces, at least 3 stitched pieces in here. And I may replace the witch's booty with something longer and thinner to fill that spot up better. But for right now, witch's booty works. Anyway, I think that might be all I have. It's about 9:45. Gonna have to open the store here. I have to put all of this stuff that I drug out away. I know I've left stuff out, and I know this has been kind of a very disorganized. I apologize for that. I know there's some big don't apologize thing going on there, but I truly am sorry. It's hard to watch videos that are not well organized, so I'm sorry. I'll try and do better next time, whenever that may be. And it may be that it's after this wedding. I don't know that I'll have time between now and then to do a video. I've been trying all week long to do this video. Not Thursday, but Wednesday. Wednesday I left the house early. I'm having trouble with my dog, not Rags, with Callie, the older dog. She's 14. And I don't know if she just got used to having someone home when Marcia and Adam were living there this summer, and she's just acting out now, but she's peeing in her kennel every day, so I go home and she's just covered in urine, and it's disgusting. The house smells like urine. She's all wet. That can't be good for her. If I leave her loose, she pees in the house, so she's got to go in the kennel. She's too hyper to bring to work, or I'd bring her to work, but she can't settle. She just constant running around, moving and panting and drooling. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with her, but or what can be done with her. I'm trying hormones. Because it's not like a puddle in her kennel. She's just soaked. So whether she is leaving the puddle and then laying in it, I don't know. I feel bad for her, so I went to the vet. I said, would hormones maybe help? And he didn't think so, but he said it's worth a shot. So we're trying the hormones to see if that helps. Diapers she shreds, so don't suggest a diaper, because she just shreds them and eats them. Anyway, I haven't been leaving as early as I normally do, and I've been going home earlier than I normally do, trying to make that day shorter for her so she maybe doesn't have an accident. But I left the house early on Wednesday because I was going to try and come in and do a video early, and I had to go to the post office first, so I'm driving to the post office. My phone rings, and it's my nephew Ben, and he says, mom's misbehaving. His mom, my sister Melanie, had a doctor appointment, so she left Mom, Dad, and then the two kids at home while she went to the doctor's. And normally it's not that big a deal, but that particular day, Mom was having a bad day and was, I don't know, it's kind of like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde with the brain damage and stuff, and you sometimes don't know who's going to show up that day. Well, that day it was evil bitch, and she was doing things that weren't safe, and she wasn't listening to Ben and Kate, so I said, well, put her on the phone, and I tried to talk to her, and she just wasn't having it, and she got really mad at me and called me names and then hung up on me. So I finished up at the post office, and while I was in the post office, the phone rang again, and it was Ben again, and he was crying this time, and I said, I'll call you right back, because I was checking out, and I think it's rude to be on the phone when you're checking out, so I called him right back after I got done checking out at the post office, and he asked me if I could go over there. I'm like, well, sure. So I went over there, and yeah, Ben had spilled some apple cider vinegar on the floor, and he was trying to clean it up, and apparently it wasn't to Mom's specifications, so she was trying to clean it up, and had worked herself into this frenzy. So the upshot is that the video didn't get done that day, and the day before, I had to bring Rags in for a allergy shot because she's chewed her poor little paws raw. It's a new shot for allergies. I was hoping it would work, but it seemed to give her relief for about a day, and now she's back to chewing on her little paws, and they're all red, and anyway, it just seems like the world has conspired to prevent me from doing a video, so I don't know when the next video will be. I'm hoping it won't be too long. But if you don't see me for a couple of months or a month or whatever it's going to be, it's just life getting in the way. There's probably nothing wrong. It's just trying to get through this wedding, and we have mints to make. It's not tomorrow, next Sunday we're making mints. I'm not even sure how many mints to figure for 700 people. Do you figure 2? Do you figure 3? I know I never eat just 3, but I know some people won't eat any. So I think we're going to do like 1,400 mints and hope that that's enough. When they're gone, they're gone. So, anywho, I'm going to let you go. It's minute 14. It's 10 minutes to 10. I may not even publish this if it's hideous when I watch it back. So, we'll see. Or you may just have to suffer through a horrible video. One of the two. Anyway, take care. Again, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the thumbs up. If you give me a thumbs down, I don't care. Go ahead. I hope everyone out there is doing well. I'm praying hard for everyone. And we'll see you next time. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.